Are you ready to lose sleep tonight? Because we're diving headfirst into the shadows of Netflix's creepiest horror films that will haunt your dreams long after the credits roll. From demonic possessions to blood-soaked revenge, these aren't your average jump-scare flicks. These are 7 horrible scary movies on Netflix that are terrifying in the best possible way. So grab your blanket, because you'll need it, and let's count down the most horrifying titles streaming right now. Number 7. May the Devil Take You. Kicking off our list at number 7 is May the Devil Take You, a chilling Indonesian supernatural horror film directed by Timo Tjahjanto. With an IMDb rating of 6.0, this movie is a demonic thrill ride from start to finish. The story follows a young woman named Alfie, whose estranged father falls into a mysterious coma. She visits his old, decrepit villa to uncover the truth, only to find herself face to face with a satanic curse rooted in her father's dark past. The more she investigates, the more she's drawn into a horrific web of evil rituals, creepy manifestations, and mind-bending terror. The film takes clear inspiration from The Evil Dead, but with its own Southeast Asian flavor. It blends practical gore effects, relentless pacing, and an oppressive, eerie atmosphere that grabs you by the throat. One moment you're watching someone open a door, next thing you know, they're being flung across the room by a blood-soaked demon. Timo Tjahjanto doesn't hold back, and that's what makes this film so memorable. It's graphic, it's intense, and most importantly, it's terrifying. Number 6. Don't Listen. At number 6, we have Don't Listen, a Spanish supernatural horror with an IMDb rating of 6.1, and it's one of the most underrated gems on Netflix. The plot centers on Daniel and Sarah, a couple who just moved into a new home with their 9-year-old son, Eric. But when Eric starts hearing strange voices and dies under mysterious circumstances, the couple begins to suspect something much darker is at play. They enlist the help of a paranormal expert, and together they uncover a horrifying truth that involves the house's sinister past. What makes Don't Listen so chilling is its relentless buildup of dread. The sound design is outstanding, you'll hear whispers when there shouldn't be any. It plays tricks on your ears and your nerves. The scares aren't cheap, they're earned. Every moment leads to something sinister. There's also an emotional core to this film that makes the horror feel even more personal. The grief, the guilt, the desperation, it's all here. It grabs your heart while chilling your spine. If you love psychological horror with ghostly elements and a clever twist on the classic haunted house tale, this film is a must-watch. Number 5. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. At number 5, we go full slasher with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2022 reboot streaming on Netflix. Though it holds an IMDb rating of 4.7, don't let that scare you away, unless it's Leatherface doing the scaring. This entry in the iconic franchise is a direct sequel to the 1974 classic. It ignores all the other films in the series and jumps straight into the carnage. A group of young urban entrepreneurs visit a deserted Texas town to gentrify it. Bad idea, because deep in the shadows, Leatherface is waiting, and his chainsaw is thirstier than ever. What this film lacks in plot depth, it makes up for in raw, brutal violence. The kills are nasty, the blood flows like wine. There's even a jaw-dropping massacre scene on a party bus that's pure horror fan delight. Leatherface is as terrifying as ever. Silent, merciless, unstoppable. If you're in the mood for something gory, brutal, and completely unapologetic, this film gives you exactly what it promises: chainsaws and screams. Number 4. Malevolent. At number 4 is Malevolent, a Netflix original starring Florence Pugh, with an IMDb rating of 4.8. While that might not scream masterpiece, this film has more than a few spine-tingling surprises. Angela and her brother Jackson run a fake paranormal investigation business. They con grieving clients into thinking they're communicating with spirits, until they're called to a haunted orphanage where the ghosts are all too real. The setup is familiar, but the execution is haunting. Florence Pugh delivers a standout performance as her character slowly begins to unravel. As the fake becomes real, her visions become more terrifying. Disfigured apparitions, whispers from nowhere, echoes of pain from tortured souls. The film plays with themes of guilt, deception, and mental breakdown. The third act takes a shocking twist that flips the entire story on its head, and the psychological horror really kicks into overdrive. Malevolent may not have reinvented the genre, but it knows how to set a mood, and it sticks the landing with disturbing precision. Number 3. The Fall of the House of Usher. Coming in at number 3 is The Fall of the House of Usher, with an impressive IMDb rating of 8.1. This series, created by horror maestro Mike Flanagan, is a gothic horror tale reimagined for modern viewers, and it's masterfully done. Inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's works, this limited series centers around the Usher family, wealthy, powerful, and cursed. When the heirs of the Usher pharmaceutical empire start dying one by one in horrific ways, their dark legacy begins to unravel. Each episode is a tale of its own, filled with psychological dread, supernatural horror, and poetic justice. The cinematography is stunning, the pacing is deliberate, and the performances, especially by Bruce Greenwood and Carla Gugino, are captivating. But make no mistake, this is horror at its most intelligent. There are haunting monologues, blood-curdling deaths, and layers of meaning that demand your attention. If you're into sophisticated horror that combines beauty and brutality, The Fall of the House of Usher is a must-watch masterpiece. Number 2. Ouija. At number 2, we summon the spirits with Ouija, the 2014 horror flick with an IMDb rating of 4.5. While critics weren't impressed, horror fans know this one delivers chills in its own eerie way. After the death of her best friend, a young woman and her friends attempt to contact her using a Ouija board. But instead of a reunion, they awaken something far more sinister. What follows is a classic teen horror experience: flickering lights, distorted faces, creepy dolls, and a spirit that doesn't want to say goodbye. Yes, it follows familiar tropes. But that's also what makes it fun. It leans into its B-movie roots with total confidence. And there are genuinely creepy moments, the kind that make you check behind you after turning off the lights. If you're looking for something light, fast-paced, and spirit-filled, Ouija will scratch that ghostly itch. Just, maybe don't try the board at home. Number 1. The Popes Exorcist. And at number 1, we crown the king of Netflix horror right now, The Popes Exorcist, with an IMDb rating of 6.1. Russell Crowe stars as Father Gabriele Amorth, the Vatican's real-life exorcist who battled thousands of possessions during his lifetime. This film fictionalizes one of his most harrowing encounters, and it is absolutely horrifying. Set in a centuries-old Spanish abbey, the story follows Amorth as he investigates the possession of a young boy. But what begins as a typical exorcism unravels into a much deeper conspiracy, one involving the Vatican, ancient secrets, and a demon that knows exactly how to get under your skin. Crowe brings charisma, gravitas, and surprising humor to the role. He's not your typical horror movie priest. He's sharp, flawed, and genuinely intriguing. But let's talk scares, because this movie doesn't hold back. The demonic voice work is chilling. The jump scares are strategically placed. And the demon's manipulation of reality will have you questioning what's real and what's not. If you're a fan of possession stories with historical twists and badass priests, The Pope's Exorcist is your holy grail. So there you have it, 7 horrible scary movies on Netflix that will leave you sleeping with the lights on. From supernatural spirits to demonic possessions, these films each bring their own brand of terror to the screen. Whether you're into blood-soaked slashers or cerebral ghost stories, there's something in this list that will haunt you in all the right ways. Which one will you be watching tonight? Or did we miss one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. And, Skull, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more terrifying content every week. Did you enjoy this video? Check out other clips of Amazing 7 and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified our latest videos.